The man suddenly released his grip and leapt off the cliff, plunging straight into the seawater below. Though he managed to hit the water, the shallow depth caused him to crash against submerged rocks. The force of the impact knocked Jack unconscious for a brief moment. Fortunately, he regained consciousness shortly after and, driven by sheer willpower, managed to swim to the surface. Seeing that he was still alive filled Jack with uncontrollable relief. He soon spotted a nearby rock and dragged himself onto it, collapsing in exhaustion and gasping for air. After resting for a while, Jack sat up, savoring the feeling of narrowly escaping death. However, the sharp pain in his hand quickly furrowed his brow again. When he raised it, he was horrified to find a deep, jagged wound carved across his palm. Still, he reminded himself that survival was what mattered most. Determined to leave this dangerous place, Jack attempted to stand, but the moment he tried to move, he stumbled and fell, leaving a fresh streak of blood on his head and a sharp ache radiating from his waist. Upon closer inspection, he realized his waist had sustained serious damage from the fall, with blood steadily trickling from the wound. Worse still, his legs were growing numb, slowly losing sensation. In a panic, Jack remembered his phone and fumbled through his backpack, only to discover that the device had been soaked during the fall and refused to turn on. Desperate, he gazed up at the sky, then shouted toward the top of the cliff for help. But stranded beneath this desolate, isolated precipice, his cries faded into nothing. Overwhelmed with despair, Jack knew his most urgent task was to stop the bleeding. Gritting his teeth through the pain, he tore off his shirt and used it to wrap his injured hand, doing his best to stem the flow of blood.